the market is correct in not looking at the backward-looking GDP data because that's really historical in nature, January to March. I think the market will probably be more jolted by the April to June quarter data, but that too, I would suggest, is something which the market might have priced in because it expects fully that that data will be absolutely horrible. The market is looking ahead, and right now it is not focused so much on the GDP data, which it knows will be awful, but about the prospect of opening up of the economies globally and locally once again. So the mood is one of optimism as people figure out how quickly we can get back to where we were in the month of February from an economic perspective so that earnings can get back on track. And that is exactly what stock prices seem to be factoring in, propelled by the wall of global liquidity which has been unleashed by governments across the world. So it's a combination of liquidity, powerful short covering, and hope that because of the end of the lockdowns, uh, we will soon get back to where we were in the month of February. However, the problem with all this analysis is that while our current risk on rally is very powerful and it is very possible, the fact that we were in a very weak economic trajectory even before COVID, because the first 3 quarters of the year gone by had an average GDP growth of only 4.5%. So even if we were to get back to pre-COVID times, we would only be getting back to 4.5% GDP growth and low single-digit earnings growth. And that still remains the best case scenario for a market, even as it is hopeful of coming out of lockdown. I'm no medical expert, and I believe that a lot of people who are talking about vaccines aren't either. The recent history of creation or discovery of vaccines in the world's medical history is not very encouraging. Uh, we failed to do one with HIV. We have failed repeatedly to find vaccines for other previous viruses. And while it is true that a lot more money is at work, has been thrown at the problem this time round, I think almost everybody agrees that the minimum this will take is 12 to 18 months out, not before that, if at all we get a vaccine. So I think if the rally is on the back of a vaccine expectation, then I think it's a deluded kind of rally. My sense is that this rally has less to do with the certainty of a vaccine and much more to do with the fact that there has been an enormous amount of liquidity injection which has happened from practically every central bank, with the exception of with the Indian government, into the market, and that money will find its way into financial markets. It's already finding its way into financial markets globally. That is a very powerful reason for a risk-on rally. And the other is that while the markets were earlier focused on COVID and the damage it has caused, now it is focused on the post-COVID situation. Because while India might be in an early stage of coming out of lockdown, across the world in the Western economies, they are far ahead in coming out of the lockdowns. So the focus has shifted to reopening, getting back to business, getting back to earnings, and with a big wall of liquidity supporting you. So I think there has been enormous amount of short covering. Bears have retreated and bulls have taken charge of the market for the moment. That's what is going on, and India is participating. Well, if this is a risk-on rally and it continues, then one should expect financials to lead it. I don't think financials will lead the next bull run. And that, in a perverse way, convinces me that this is actually not a new bull market that we have on our hands. It looks spectacular, but I still think it's a powerful bear market rally and not a bull rally. Because the leaders, if this was a bull run, would have been something which was out of fashion in the previous bull run. That is consistent with the experience of all previous bull runs. What is happening now is that the bank nifty actually led the market's decline from 12,400 all the way down to 7,500. And therefore, in the pullback rally, as this risk on rally gathers more momentum, it is only reasonable to expect that the fallen heroes, which is the financials, will lead it back. And therefore, the bank nifty is outperforming the nifty in the last 1 week of the rally. So if this risk on rally continues beyond 10,000 on the Nifty, I fully expect the Nifty Bank to outperform. But in the medium term, I think the financials remain a fairly challenged kind of space. And fundamentally speaking, they should not be leading the next bull run in the market. There, that will have to come from some other sectors. But for the moment, there is probably headroom left in names like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Axis Bank. Kshitiz, the one thing which worries me is that the number of cases in India seem to have been growing in the last few days. We are talking about a massive rally in the market at a time when in the last 2 days, India has reported more than 8,000 cases, which is the highest that it's ever reported. So India's curve, com- contrary to what is going on with most other countries, is actually rising. It's not falling. And it is a possibility. Now, we are now close to 2 lakh cases at this point in time. I mean, give or take 10,000. Now, if we are doubling our cases in 15 days, every 15 days, roughly, it could be, depending on whose number you're going by, 13 days, 15 days, etc. But let's take 15. So on the 2nd of June, if you are at, say, 2 lakh cases, then on the 17th of June, by that logic, you'll be at 4 lakh cases. If going at the same trajectory, if you're doubling. And then in the 2nd of July, you're at 8 lakh cases. So it's quite conceivable if we do not get our curve under control in the next 1 month or so, that sometime in the first 10 days of July, India could be hitting 1 million cases of COVID. Now, it seems very far fetched to talk about that now, but all I'm talking about is 4 to 5 weeks out. So, if we have 1 million cases 5 weeks out, then the whole game changes. Who knows? Will governments be forced to bring lockdowns back, stung by the very sharp rise in cases? So, these are possibilities which we need to be aware of while we talk about the risk on rally, because we haven't killed or flattened the COVID curve. All we have is that the market was very bearish, it had become overly short, and because of the announced end of the lockdowns, we've had powerful short covering and a big relief rally, which might still continue for the next few days. But the ground reality which started this bear market in the first place has not gone away. So you need to be aware of the risks while you participate in this rally. I would say, it's always difficult to stay out of a powerful market rally because it's fear of missing out. You feel left out of the rally, and I imagine a lot of people might be feeling that over the last few days as the Nifty has rallied very powerfully, 500-600 points. My sense is that it's probably prudent not to get too aggressive at this point in time around 10,000 Nifty. There are still lots of ifs and buts along the way. I don't think earnings will be great for a while. The market might have found momentum, price momentum, but I think for the economy to, or the corporate India to find earnings momentum will take a long while because of the issues that you mentioned: job losses, salary cuts, MSME problems, a handicapped financial sector. All of this will come in the way of strong earnings momentum anytime soon. And therefore, I would not be very aggressive in chasing the market from above 10,000 Nifty. I think prudence lies in a cautious approach at this point in time, which does not mean that you should sell everything, but keep your equity weightage to not more than 30% at this point in time. It doesn't matter in a difficult economic environment to miss out on a rally or miss out on some gains rather than to miss out or lose a lot of your saved capital. And I think preservation of capital still is a very important mantra to keep in mind in the year that we have at hand right now.